So color and cleanse. So we'll jump into the actual range and we'll go through all of the cleansing products. Now we're going to go through the most, I suppose, conditioning, the most restoring, and then we're going to move through to more selective or specialized products. Blonde range, also to structure. So depending on where you're at, it's probably good to start off with the heaviest, or I shouldn't say the heaviest, but the most moisturizing. We always get asked, which one is like the most restoring? Is it Nourish or is it Hydrate? It's actually Nourish. So Nourish is exactly what it says. It's going to nourish hair where it's been damaged. So there's a shampoo and conditioner in the range. You'll notice it's a pink type, so it's got a bit of a brief description as well. So if you're not quite sure, the idea of the whole range was that clients could self-help. They could look and then could go, oh, okay, so this is going to nourish and protect my hair from color fade, fantastic, but also to dry, damaged, color-treated hair. So we say color fade, but we also say dry damage. So obviously, powder lightened hair, highlights, balayage, over processed hair. This is exactly where you're going to use Nourish, but there's also another product that I'm going to talk about a little bit later on, Structure Complex. If their hair is really quite been compromised, it needs to be rebuilt. So Nourish is really good for highlighted hair, colored hair, longer hair that's a little bit more porous. It needs a little bit more. There's a shampoo and conditioner found in the range. We then move through to Hydrate, and Hydrate really is more mid-level. It smooths, restores, and adds moisture, and it's more for color-treated hair. So semi-permanent, permanent hair, this is where Hydrate works really well. Now, we're being a bit selective. We haven't called anything colored. We haven't called anything fine, because realistically, you could use all of the products on this. Most clients will know if their hair needs nourishment, or if it needs hydration, or it needs volume. So we've been a bit selective with the names. Hydrate really is a good mid-level shampoo conditioner. Great for all color surfaces where the hair is not too compromised. Even on finer, coarser hair, Hydrate's perfect. So exactly where the hair needs moisture. So a beautiful product. Volume says it all. This is designed for finer hair. If the hair's a little bit oily, they could use this. They could actually use Ultimate Cleanse as well. So depending on the oil or the amount of oil that the client does have. Volume, perfect to volumize their hair. A little bit, if there's a little bit of oil, it's perfect for that as well. So the ranges themselves, so the fragrance, is best described, it's almost a floral herbal, but it's quite sweet. We'll move through to some of the products do have slightly signature fragrances, but generally the first three products that I'm speaking about, or I've just shared with you, we've mapped through. Floral, a little bit citrus, but also too sweet, herbal, without being too woody. So that would be a best way of describing the fragrance found in each of these three ranges. So let's move through to Ultimate Cleanse. Ultimate Cleanse is a bit of a favorite. This is also too great in salon. It's the ultimate in removing chlorine, pollutants, oils, styling residue, excessively oily hair. Also in salon, this is a shampoo that we recommend any powder lightener, so foils, highlights, or any bleaching products. Ultimate Cleanse, definitely for your first shampoo. It's going to remove all of the sulfates off the hair. So this is why it's so important. It's a very, very good cleansing product. It actually has the highest pH out of all of the shampoos. So it's going to help remove any residue, any buildup, anything you don't want in the hair. Ultimate Cleanse is perfect for that. Now, a bit of a tip with Ultimate Cleanse, if there's a lot of buildup, apply it on dry, and then shampoo, and that's going to really help remove very, very built up waxes or that very heavy oil. So a bit of a tip there. Again, as I said before, perfect for highlights or any of your lightening work. Ultimate Cleanse your first shampoo, that would be our recommendation. Then choose any of the other signature shampoos to remove any of your powder lightener. Now, if it's normal color, you could use Hydrate. So if it's your permanent color, your demi-permanent, so your soft, use any of the other shampoos. This is really specifically after powder lightener. or bleaches. This is exactly where we would use our Ultimate Cleanse shampoo. We then move through to dandruff. So this is perfect to eliminate flakiness, scalp buildup for all hair types. And what I really like about the dandruff, it's a fragrance. It has a really uplifting peppermint fragrance. So it's quite quite cleansing on the scalp. So it helps remove that buildup of oil, and also to dry skin, which is basically dandruff, but also to protect the hair. So you've got wonderful ingredients there to maintain that scalp mantle. So really good for your daily concerns of dandruff. You could use this daily, or as the dandruff progresses, just use it daily. And once the skin stabilizes, you could then definitely move into any of the other signature products. So one thing with the dandruff, it's an add-on. So we would recommend you could use volume, shampoo, conditioner, and then the dandruff when the dandruff needs to be looked after, and then you just jump back into your shampoo and conditioner. So consider some of these as add-on. Ultimate Cleanse as well is an add-on product, so not an everyday product. So some of these shampoos, they're going to be an additional buy for the client, but because you're prescribing it because they've got a particular concern. Dry clean shampoo, a beautiful product. So a true dry clean, just make sure you give this a bit of a shake. The reason I say that is if you're going to spray this, by not actually shaking it really well, you would just make sure that the residue is not too uneven. Because also this has got your kaolin powder and your apricot kernel oil. Your kernel oil actually attracts the oil as well. Kaolin powder basically will also to attract oil as well. So a beautiful dry clean or dry shampoo that you can use, and also to just dries off without any residue. So perfect to remove any oil buildup and just to prolong any hairstyles. So perfect as, again, an add-on for your client that wants to just get a little bit more out of their hair, especially like your female clients with lots of hair and they've had it styled. Shampooing and styling takes some time. So an extra day is really quite valued. Our blonde shampoos, now we're going to get into our blonde ranges, and we're going to move from the weakest tone factor to the strongest tone factor. So our tone factor 1 is just a little bit of tone, 10 is maximum tone. So that gives you an idea of the strength of toning. Blonde shampoo, great as an introduction to a client that maybe hasn't used a colored shampoo before. Tone factor of 4. So really good for just removing a bit of brassiness without giving too much of a colored result. We then have our Blonde Plus. Again, this is really quite safe. I like actually recommending the Blonde Plus to clients because it's not really that strong and they've got a lot of control over it. The way that it works is that it's a foam. So you can see the foam there. They can apply this, so a gentle shampoo, you could actually add it into the shampoo. I sometimes add it into my own conditioner at home when I'm actually toning my own hair. So by adding it into a conditioner, you can add it in as well, so to save time, as well as you can control how much. And as you can see, that's going to then give that tone factor. So it's a very safe take-home product for any client. It's great if they're going away on holidays. It's just going to add a bit of tone without it actually changing the color. Now you can see I'm talking about this a lot because we're going to move through some of the shampoos and conditioners in the blonde range that are much stronger. So they do need a bit more of a conversation with the customer if they've not used a product like this before. We then move through Blonde Plus shampoo, and this would be pretty much at the maximum of what I would recommend that could be used daily. It is quite strong. It's good for clients that are used to or they absolutely don't like the brassiness of their hair. It's great for grey hair. So clients with grey hair that get that a little bit of yellowing, it's perfect for that. Also for clients that have that brunette color and they just don't like gold. Again, the Blonde Plus has got that mid-level tone factor, so really quite nice to work with. We then move through to Rose Blonde, and this one's a little bit different. So Rose Blonde itself is quite strong in its reflect. We do say tone factor of 6, but it is a pink tone, and I'm not sure if you can see that, but it's a really pinky tone. It's absolutely beautiful in its fragrance. It's got that rose hip, so rose blonde, a beautiful tone. Good introduction to clients that want to try pink, but they're just, colors too much. So it's a bit of fun. You could use this at the basin once they've had their highlights removed. Ultimate cleanse first, remember, ultimate cleanse first, and then you could do the rose blonde shampoo, and it just gives a very soft pink hue. If you leave it on a little bit longer, it will actually give a bit more tone. So this is where it's really a bit of fun, and leaving it just in for 5 minutes. They'll get a very soft pastel pink. So it's quite beautiful, used as a bit of an introduction to color, but a bit of a conversation. You don't want to use this and the client doesn't want pink hair. And it's not pink hair, it's more like a salmon. It's a very sheer, overtone. I know a lot of our educators absolutely love this who have blonde hair because it's a bit of fun. It's not permanent. Next shampoo, it's out. And that's the beauty of rose blonde shampoo. We then move through to platinum, and this is strong. This needs a bit of education. Tone factor 8. This is really high. And the reason, and this is not a daily product unless you want like that silver blue hair, because it is so strong. It looks like ink. I've got my little, and if you see it there, you can see that it's really, really quite inky blue. It's quite deep in its appearance. This needs a bit of education. So in other words, once a week would be a recommendation, or when the client really doesn't like that warmth or gold, this will change the color of the client's hair. If you use too much and leave it on for a while, it will go silvery blue. So I know that a lot of our colorists out there that have been using this for a while have almost replaced this with toning. It does work almost like a toner. However, this will only last 2 to 3 shampoos. So really good for gray hair, really good for that really strong blonde, gold, where they don't like it, or for clients that just don't like any warmth. Platinum blonde is absolutely amazing. If you've got mid-level blonde hair, I'd recommend once a week. So you would add this into your other signature shampoos and conditioners. So once a week, just to really give that tone effect. So it lasts a couple of shampoos. You can actually leave this on for 5 minutes. Don't lather it as much, and it really will tone. So lots of fun. It's really good as a really quick toner, or even just to refresh a client that's come in that's not particularly having a color, but they've got blonde hair. Perfect at the back bar. We also too have back bar sizes as well. Blonde conditioner. So this is just a live-in. You can actually use any of the other signature conditioners, but this just lives in with the whole packaging. It's got the blue label. It's got no tone, even though you can see that the conditioner there's colored, it will actually give you no tone. So there's a zero tone factor with the conditioner. A bit of a scale. So what I really like about this, it goes from like the weakest toning to the strongest toning. There's some products there that I haven't spoken about. So we've got a care range, Ori. So you'll see that our other ranges as well are found in this toning scale. But it gives you an idea as in 4, and the platinum, which I've just spoken about, which is right at the other end, that's really strong. So that's at 8. So your mid-level is going to be your platinum blonde treatment, which is at 6, your rose, which is a little bit stronger, 6, Ori's at 6, and then you've got care at 4. So it gives you a really good idea as in, okay, weak toning or light toning, maximum toning. So really helps you map and recommend the right product to your client. Now, I did kind of hint about this product, Structure Complex. So this comes in a shampoo conditioner. It's a bond builder. It supports our bond building in salon professional product. What this will do is it helps restore and rebuild the hair. And quite often I get asked, okay, well, which one's more, conditioning? Is it nourish or is it structure? Well, nourish is more about moisture and protection. Structure Complex is a builder. This is really a bond building shampoo, conditioner and treatment designed really for hair that's really over processed, chemically treated, dry, and it really needs to be rescued.